to the Creation Theory Podcast. I am your host, Wyatt Wewell, and I'm joined with three of my very best friends, Zach,
Hey.
Josh,
Hey, what's up?
and Ben.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Ben, how have you been?
I've been good. How are you?
How have you been? Anywho, I didn't mean to do it that time. How's your week going?
It's going okay. It's
Has
been long.
gone. It's Friday.
It is
Busy.
Friday.
It is
I'm very
Friday,
glad about
yeah.
this.
It is Friday as we record. Not as we put it up, if we put it up. Who knows? Apparently
It
we
might
don't
go
do this
up.
anymore.
You might never hear it, but you'll never know if you never hear it.
It's
so there's
been
that.
it's been a rough couple of weeks at the Creation Theory. We promised a guest for this week, and
Ha.
that fell through.
Ha.
We promised episodes for the last 2 weeks, and
That
those
didn't
fell
work.
through. So we're here though. We're here now, and we are still dedicated to this content as much as it doesn't seem like we are. We are.
What content?
It's gonna get better. Shut up, Josh.
We don't have content.
We will get through this. I had to go home, take a friend to a funeral, one weekend, and then the next weekend we had a road trip, and a few of us did. And no, actually, just me. I guess I was the only
Yeah,
one on
Well,
that.
I went home, but
Yeah,
yeah,
Zach
you went on a road trip.
Yeah. And
Me and
Stay
Ben
here
went to
like
a nightclub.
losers. Yeah, we went to a nightclub actually.
our guest
Turn up.
rescheduled. He'll be here soon. We promise. It'll happen.
Who
Maybe.
is
One of the
who is
biggest
our
guests
guest?
we've ever had.
It's a
Probably the
surprise.
biggest guest we've ever had.
Oh yeah,
Definitely
definitely
the
the biggest
biggest.
guest we've ever had.
Yep.
He's
It'll be a big
Yeah.
deal.
it'll be a big
If you know what I mean.
Huge deal.
So it'll be fun.
It will. I'm excited.
Zach, how have you been?
I've been pretty good. Things have been busy.
Yes.
Let's see what is happening right now. We're going to classes. Valentine's Day, as of this point that we are recording, is Sunday.
2
anyone-
days ago, if you're listening. to
2
this
days ago, if
when
you're
it goes up.
listening now. Does anyone have any plans for Valentine's Day?
Possibly Kung Fu Panda 3.
Kung Fu Fanda.
Kung
Fu
Kung
Fanda.
Fu.
I
I'm
don't
a
wanna see
fan of
that
Kung
movie.
Fu.
I want to see that movie.
Wait, does that mean that we are the Kung Fu fandom?
We're the
Yes.
only
The
ones
Fanda?
that
Kung
I
Fu
know
Fanda? I like
don't
that
know
are
anyone
this
else.
into these
Anywho.
movies and are excited for this third.
I hope it'll be
Hmm?
good.
Me too.
What's
and
your
not dumb.
Valentine's Day?
My Valentine's Day,
Kung Fu Panda
Kung
3.
Fu Panda 3 pretty
Kung Fu
much
Panda
actually.
3.
Yeah.
Me as well. So
Might go
It'll be a
hiking
good
if
day.
the weather's nice, but it probably won't be.
You
It's
might.
supposed to be cold,
Ooh,
but
hikes.
not like raining or snowing or anything.
Might make some no-bake cookies because I got a new recipe.
Oh,
Delicious.
snap.
and you can't burn yourself.
So
Yeah.
so
That is
real
true.
quick. Josh said we went to a nightclub this week. Can we tell the story of what happened?
Yeah, please
Oh,
do. We don't
we
want
went
to
to
see
Please
this-
do.
So the whole, just for our Johnson listeners that are like, they went to a nightclub. How dare they? Jesus. We went because I'm good friends with the guys in Far From Royal, which is a pop punk band that goes to our school. Shameless plug. And
They're pretty good. Good
yeah,
show.
they're good. I love watching them. They have really great energy and they perform really well and they've got some really good songs. Definitely check them out. But anyway, so they were playing at this nightclub called the Bowery last weekend.
Oh, that place looks cool. I've been wanting to check that out.
It's kind of cool. It's a nice venue. It took us
It
a
was
while
okay.
to find the entrance
First
because
of all,
we
let
had to
me
use the
talk
back
about their-
entrance.
I'm not plugging the Bowery because I don't like the way they locked the front fence, the front gate.
Yeah.
That says, like, has all their signs up. Can't get in. Everyone was, like, piling up against this gate, and then someone was like, hey, you gotta come around to the back door that's, like, next to the railroad tracks and in this weird, dark,
This is- yeah.
shady alley or
That
whatever.
is incredibly dumb.
It
So,
is.
I mean,
This giant
it's by the
gate is
cereal bar.
getting no
what used to be
use.
the cereal bar.
True.
Yeah.
It's like
Anyway.
right
mean-
across the street from the cereal bar. Anyway, so Far From Royal plays, and me and a couple of my friends, we were moshing and stuff. Josh was a loser and sat in the back.
You'll realize why soon. Why I choose not to mosh.
So, and of course the whole reasoning behind that is because we've been to Far From Royal shows, we knew what to expect, and so we wanted to do it, and they're our friends, good energy, good hype from the crowd and stuff. So
If you're into that.
yeah, if you're
I love
into it,
that.
of course,
I'm
nothing
not a
wrong if
mosher,
you're not.
but concerts are a good time.
Yeah.
Concerts are a great time.
So the second band that comes up is this band called Of Eve. I call them Femicore. They're
It
Of-
could be a new genre.
It could be. They're very. I mean, their vocalist is a female. She's
It-
very like feminist,
It was hard rock metal,
pro-feminist.
but with a strong like feminist message and a female lead.
Yeah.
So
So I mean, there's
not,
Femachore for you.
not your common hard rock or metal.
No, yeah.
That is definitely not common.
No.
I'm gonna be honest. I was not a fan at all of theirs.
Well,
Um,
there's a reason.
Well, there are multiple
Ben is
reasons
biased
why.
at this point, not
Yeah.
because of the female or anything, but
No,
you'll get
yeah.
that story. But I thought their instrumentation was pretty good, but you'll understand
Yeah,
why they
you'll
weren't
understand
our
why I'm
cup
not a
of
fan.
tea.
So anyway, their lead singer, like she wants hype from the crowd. She wants energy. So she points out my friend Wesley, who's the most noticeable out of the people moshing.
Yes,
Because he's giant.
because he's
'Cause
he's
he's
a
Wesley.
very tall ginger
is.
man. And of course he just goes ham when it comes to moshing anyway. So she points him out specifically and is like, "I saw you moving out there. You know, you need to, get it going, get moving. Come on."
Basically, like, why aren't you moshing
Yeah,
for us?
why aren't you
moshed
moshing
for
for
the
us?
last
Yeah.
band?
Which
So mosh for us, which is
again,
fine.
Far From Royal was our friends.
Yeah.
That was the
That's
whole
true,
reason
that's
why
true.
we were moshing for them. And their music is easier to do it to, and it's kind of
Kinda,
like
yeah,
just
it's
the energy
bouncier
of the music.
and-
It's bouncier. It's more fun to do stuff like that to it.
But yeah.
More breakdowns involved in it. So anyway, me and our other friend Austin are just kind of like, well, we're not gonna let him just stand out there, run around, look like an idiot with no one to shove around or anything. So we jump in.
let's all three run around and
Yeah.
look like idiots.
Well, hey, do it together. So anyway, because there's only 3 of us. Because
Keep talking, Ben.
because there's
Keep
only
talking.
because there's only 3 of us.
Daggum.
The singer comes down off stage, and first when she comes down, she just shoves me, and I'm like, okay, not a big deal. People shove in mosh pits all the time and stuff.
She shoves him hard. I was
She
watching.
shoved me hard. I ended up
and
on
it
my
was
butt.
very comical for me because I was sitting in the back.
You
as
ended
I
up on your
usually
butt
do.
after a girl pushed you down.
It was unexpected.
Anytime Ben
it looked
gets
like
hit,
a
let's be
strong
honest, it's
shove.
Yeah,
pretty
just
comical.
it is always hilarious
Anyway,
when it does happen.
my feelings aside, she gets back on stage after that, and then comes down again. I think during like the second song that they're playing, and she just comes down full on like boxing position, both her
Yes.
fists like up in
Yes.
her face, and just 1-2s me in the chest. The second
Just
hit
punches
hitting
him.
right in my collarbone, just an inch away from my
I
throat.
see her. Okay, from my
Dang.
perspective, I was sitting down at a table, like in the distance, and I see her get down. She's got her targets locked on Ben, and she is in this fighting position, and Ben's just like running around doing his thing, and she just comes up and decks him twice. And then just like Ben walks away, and Wesley and Austin just walk away, and she kind of like wanders around and then goes back to the stage.
Yeah.
because it was so.
'Cause
That's
Scary.
awkward.
That's how you end a mosh pit.
Yeah, just start
That's-
punching people.
Well,
That's just
and
really
here's
awkward.
The
Yeah, it
the
was
the
awkward.
biggest problem I had was that that's not what you do when you're moshing. When you're moshing, you're running around, you're kind of flailing, but you're not intentionally going straight up to someone and straight up like beating them.
See, that's the thing.
And that's why people get kicked out of mosh pits is because they'll corner people or something and just beat the crap out of them.
Well, that's why I don't mosh, is because some people think that's what moshing is.
Mm.
Like it's an all-out like
Yeah.
fight.
And that's not what it is at all. You shove, you flail, you run around, but you don't straight up get ready to get into a fight and punch people. But that was our fun experience. The rest of the show was great. We only stayed for 3 out of the 4 bands there, but the third band, was great too. Couldn't complain about them.
Yeah,
They
it's
were
good time.
the phenomenal guitar tones. Such gorgeous guitar tones. Overall great band
But yeah, so we went to a nightclub and Ben got punched by a woman.
and
This
almost
is why
died.
you don't
That's
go
really
to
fun.
nightclubs.
Yeah, don't
Can't argue with that.
Don't do
Nope,
that.
Can't argue
or
with that.
don't mosh.
Also,
That's
don't do
what
that.
I get from it.
So, last episode that we had, which was
3
knows
weeks
how
ago.
long ago. We promised some running stories from cross country. So we're gonna do that because we said we would, And
We
Zach's
said we
been
would.
racking his brain trying to remember these things that he's apparently hidden away because they may have been traumatizing.
I ran cross country for, I don't know why I switched over to my grandpa voice. It just kind of happened naturally.
You sound like Logan.
Back in
Back
my
in the
day,
old
Back
days.
in my day,
Good old days.
we ran barefoot. No, I'm kidding.
and it was uphill both ways
Yep, in the snow.
And there were
in
raptors
July
chasing us.
when it was 95
Uh-huh.
degrees.
Yes.
There were velociraptors chasing us.
What is a velociraptor?
I don't know. I don't even know.
Velocil.
Velocil. I don't know. That's
Yeah. Well,
Benjamin's mind.
Wyatt and I ran cross country.
I ran for 3 years as well.
Yes.
You quit senior year?
I quit senior. I didn't run senior year
Yeah.
because I didn't want to.
I didn't quit. I just didn't run. Yeah.
I quit because I didn't want to be with the people anymore, and I didn't want to do the exercises.
Well, I kind of quit. I went to some summer training trying to talk myself out of it, and then eventually talked myself out of it, and that was that.
Hmm.
But yeah, so it happens.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it does.
Running is disgusting.
Anyways, running is fun.
Unless it's for a
Running
race.
cross country is dumb
It is
Yeah, and
dumb.
Running
because
is
you have to run
not that
fast.
great.
I like running. I'm probably gonna start running again because I'm getting fat.
Okay, well,
But
sir, you're a
Yeah.
tree,
I am a tree.
and you can take 3 steps and be done.
That is true.
It takes me 400.
A 5K is literally 5 steps for me.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got a 1K step.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and Zach's got it harder working on muscle, I think, than losing weight.
I don't need to. If I lose weight, I will disappear.
Yeah, every once in a while he'll start running, and strong wind will come up. We'll find him in a fence somewhere.
Yep.
Blows away like a leaf.
Just a tumble, Griggs.
I'm a fan of that.
That's great.
Tumble Griggs.
So, anyways, we're gonna tell some stories, and Wyatt's gonna start off because I gotta remember some.
Oh,
Hit
Thrown
there are a
under
lot
the
of
bus.
stories. There are a lot of
There's
stories.
so many, but it's hard to remember one with enough detail to actually make it interesting.
We had a lot
Just
of
make
interesting
stuff up,
people.
bruh.
We had a
No,
lot of
Joshua.
interesting people.
We had interesting
Well, you
people
were in it, so
join cross country.
So
That
is
was
the thing.
normal compared to the rest of them.
well,
I
that
mean,
is
we were
interesting.
runners.
That
Mhm.
was
Yeah.
interesting.
You're
They're
all
not
a little
normal
bit
people.
insane if you run.
I had a teammate my freshman year who came in to practice. He was a senior wrestler. He was doing it to stay in shape originally, and then he just stuck with it because our coach was a really good guy, and he couldn't run to save his life, but he was a good coach, and he took the team to states like 7 years in a row or something like that. It was ridiculous because we're not that great, but one of the kids comes in the first day and looks at one of the other guys whose name is Tyler, and he apparently looked like a kid with the last name Dugan. And he goes, "Hey Dugan, what's up?" Like some kid from our rival school was just running with us, like it was nothing, and never learned his name for like months. And so the name stuck, and he's still known as Dugan
Oh, wow.
because
But he's not a Dugan.
he's no. Actually, I have a dog named after him now because my
Dugan.
sister.
I
named
love Dugan so
Dugan's
much. I
awesome.
miss Dugan. Shout out to Dugan. He's the real MVP
Shameless plug,
of
Dugan.
dog Dugan.
Illinois. Yes.
Dog Dugan. Yeah. But this kid, the senior kid, he was an interesting feller. And there was one day we were in the gym. Actually, it was raining outside, and we didn't want to practice, and we were just doing. It was like an ice day or whatever. So we're just in the gym, like kicking a soccer ball around. And he comes up behind me, and he said, "Hey, you ever wrestled?" And I went, "No." And before the word got fully out of my mouth, I was on the floor. He was behind me. My knee was in my ear, and he went, "I win." It was incredible. I've never seen anything like it. Like it was
Wow.
insane. He was fun though. He liked it. Didn't matter how tired he was ever. If we were at the end of a workout, in the middle of a workout, didn't matter. We'd always work out at the park. Well, not always. Most of the time, we'd work out at the city park. And if there was a kid riding his bike by or walking by or something, like an elementary kid, this guy would get up, look at him, and go, "Hey, get off the wet cement," and chase him until they got off the sidewalk.
Oh my god.
There was no wet
That's
cement.
great.
That cement has been there longer than I have been there, but
Mm.
it didn't. Get off the wet cement. One of them
Let's
was
start
carrying a
doing that.
basketball one time, so he took the ball from him and punted it so he'd get off the sidewalk.
That's amazing.
We'd be running sometimes, and we'd pass people like that were just walking the other way or whatever, not on the team, didn't know us, and he had a dog impression that was spot on, like little dog, not like big Rottweiler, like little bitty things. And he'd go, "Hey, hey," and then he'd turn around, and he could throw his voice too. I don't know how he did it, but he'd turn around and go, "Dadgum dog, where'd you go?" And these people be looking around for a dog. It was hilarious.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
We had a lot of good times. He was fun for that year. That year was not. We had some races that year that we should have probably won, and we didn't. There was one race where we were racing against one of our rivals, probably our biggest rival, right before regionals, at their home course, and lost for the first time all season. Because in cross country, you run against everybody all the time because
You do.
it's not like basketball where you play one team. You're going against like 8 or 9 other teams, so it's the same guys a lot. And we lost to them when it was just us 2 teams, and coach was not happy. A lot of us had changed already. We were already on the bus. We were ready to go home. We'd run hard, not hard enough, but we'd run hard. And coach came on the bus and said, "Get up. We're running." And one of the seniors who was wearing skinny jeans and flip-flops said, "Coach, let me change." He said, "Nope, get on the line. We're running again.
Wow.
And if you don't run this faster, team time, if team time doesn't drop this time, we're doing it again."
Dang.
Let's go.
Dang.
It was a rough day.
I bet.
Was not a good time.
Did you only have to run once?
We had to run the full course, 3 miles.
Oh my gosh.
But we only ran once because we succeeded,
That's
That's
good.
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 which was sad.
That is
'Cause-
really sad. You should have
yeah,
been
that is.
absolutely dead.
Oh, we
after
were,
running
but
that
we
race
were
for the
scared
first
to
time.
coach.
Well, that's true. I know what that's like.
You got anything? Or you want me to just...
It's not so much a story so much as an experience.
That's,
wow.
That makes a lot of sense.
Let me paint a picture for you. I'm from Hampton Roads,
pictures.
Virginia. And when you live in Hampton Roads, Virginia, hurricanes are just a part of your life
Oh,
from
that
like
sucks.
the end of summer to the fall.
Same
just
with
through
Florida.
there. Yeah. Ben knows what I'm talking about.
I know
Y'all get
exactly
more
what
of
you're
them down
talking
there.
about.
We got tornadoes.
Y'all too from Cornfield, America get tornadoes.
Cornfield,
Not in
America.
Indiana.
Yeah.
Indiana's a haven for weather. But
Oh,
anyways,
okay. Yeah. Well, we
I
get
mean,
where
get
I am
hurricanes.
anyway,
Yeah, where you
central
are.
Indiana,
mm,
we get almost nothing like that.
really.
Disastrous weather, especially Cass County. It's an inside joke in Cass County that no bad weather affects Cass County. Like we get like storms and stuff, but no like tornadoes. Like it ends at the county line. It'll just
We
stop.
had,
Really?
It won't cross
That's
the line.
fascinating.
We had a
Super weird.
tornado touchdown and go through a quarter mile from our house one time. And then
Wow.
the next year we had straight line winds take out our neighbor's barn.
Dang.
Like,
Oh
it
my
was
gosh.
ridiculous. It just keeps getting closer, but I'm out of there, so hopefully.
That's good.
that'll
Well, we're glad
help
you're
with
out of
that.
there. Anyways, we get hurricanes. Almost said tornadoes, but we get hurricanes. And something about the Peninsula Catholic High School cross country team.
It's a long name.
That's
It
a
is.
very long name.
But when you win as much as we did, you can say the long name. We won
Alright,
a lot.
York, whatever.
Yeah. When you're us, you don't really stop practice for a hurricane.
When you Lawrenceville, you don't stop practice for a hurricane.
Yep.
You don't
Exactly.
stop practice for anything.
Nope.
Coach once told us when we were raining and we were running. Wow, we were running in a thunderstorm all the way to the next town and back. And Coach said, "If you hear thunder, take 3 strides to your right. It'll hit you on your left side. You don't need your left side." That's what he said. And then
I
he got
like
in the
it.
truck and drove off.
I like it.
Anyway, continue.
Anyways, we did not stop our scheduled practice for which hurricane was it? There's so many stupid hurricanes. What was the big one that went through and destroyed New York and New Jersey and stuff?
I have no idea.
I
Was
don't
it
know.
Irene? It was
I don't know.
Sandy.
Was it?
It was
Sandy?
That
Sandy.
was it.
Okay.
We did not. We had practice right on the worst day in the middle of the storm during Hurricane Sandy.
Wow.
This ain't worth
It was fun. Like 10 of us out of the probably 25 to 30 people on the team showed up at school, which was weird because we never had practices at school, but it was a big open field because the coach didn't want like trees to fall on us. Because we normally run through the trails in the woods in the parks nearby. But we did the field because he didn't want us to die, strangely enough, even though we still had practice. But we decided to do, I don't remember exactly what the workout is. I think we were running 600s. And we ran 600 meters, for those of you who didn't run. Wyatt knows what kind of hell I'm talking about. I think we ran.
Uh,
Yeah, they're
That
long,
sigh.
and you have to run them fast, and they hurt.
Ouch.
But we ran some stupid number of them. And, at the start it was okay because once you're in a hurricane stretching, like, you can only get so wet. So you're fine there. You just
Yeah,
soak,
there's-
and then you're done.
Yeah, it's just at that point you may as well just run because you're not going to dry off anytime soon,
Exactly.
and you can't get any wetter.
You may as
Sounds
well
fun.
go. I mean,
Sounds fun.
realistically, you're, like, only wearing a pair of running shorts and shoes,
And that's not a
it.
lot.
And that's not a lot to get wet. So mostly you're fine.
Yeah.
Then the wind really started to pick up.
Then it gets cold.
Then it gets cold. I'm talking cold. We were freezing. We couldn't feel our feet. You had to lean sideways so that you wouldn't get blown over while you was running.
Oh wow.
And I think we were doing something like 8 600s or 10, 12. I don't remember how many. But towards the end, we was running the same path. And the mud was so bad that you would hit and you would just keep going into the ground
No.
until it was like middle of your calf. So towards the end, we're just kind of, I punched my microphone. I apologize for that. there. just kind of post-holing down through the mud, running these 600 things, and people are losing shoes. People are screaming out things you shouldn't be screaming out on a school campus. People are
Especially
getting
Catholic schools.
upset. Well, I can't say
I think
that
Catholics
on
are the worst with
here,
that
but
stuff.
I'm not going to comment because I get in trouble when I talk about Catholics. But yeah, it was not a good time. Somebody ended up going down. Just basically, they started practice white. When they went home, they were black.
Wow.
Like it was a
Did
rough
they
day.
ever go back?
That is a good question.
Go black, you never
That
go
is
back.
a very good question. But yeah, my experience is practicing a hurricane.
That's interesting.
Sounds fun.
Those were
That
always
kinda
fun
was
though,
fun. They
because you
were.
kind of felt like the people on the Marines commercials.
You
They're
did.
running,
You did.
They're running through the rain and there's stuff dripping off their face and they're like breathing heavy and like
Mhm.
struggling to keep going. You're like,
Coated in mud.
where's
like,
the
this is
camera?
me.
Because this is, I should be on this commercial. Give me some bass
Uh-huh.
behind me and we're golden.
Exactly.
There was a team.
It's a good time.
There was a team in Illinois that we never had to run against, thankfully, because they're Elmhurst, Illinois, which is Chicago. But according to their Wikipedia page, I had to look it up because I wasn't exactly sure what it was. From 1962 to the 2012 season, Joe Newton, their coach, took them to 28 state championships. Not two
Wow.
state.
Wow.
They won state.
Wow.
They're
That's crazy.
huge. They are a massive school, and they are good.
Mhm.
Like, they're good.
you have
Holy
to be
crap.
good.
It's incredible how good they are.
That's insane.
I got to actually run on the state course. I never went to state. Our coach took us to state every year until I was a freshman, and then they realigned the
Nice.
conferences and
Mhm.
stuff. And our regional was the easiest regional in the state. Like,
Wow.
you could basically sit still and win and make it out. Like,
Hmm.
it wasn't hard. There were 7 teams, and like the top 5 made it out or something like that. And
Oh wow.
there were some little teams there. Like it's an easy regional.
Mhm.
But our sectional that we then advanced to was the hardest sectional in the state. We had all of the big schools, like 2 years in a row, the top 6, because 6 get out, I think. Maybe it was 5. I don't remember. However many get out were the top at this actual state race. Like, those were the top teams. It was incredible. Like, they're too good.
Hmm.
We had seniors that won every race we were at. That not that like were on our team, but there were seniors that we ran against that would win every race that they would go to until sectionals, and then they wouldn't even qualify. Not individually, not on
Whoa.
a team. It
Wow.
was ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
But I did get to run the state course every year in just an invite, and there were about 600 racers there, and it was a big meet. It's set in Peoria, Illinois, where there's it's at a park where there's just wide open field. They have some soccer fields in there, and there's a massive hill, probably 700 meters up this hill,
Mhm.
and then just a wide open infield there. So you start down the hill, run about 600 meters. You start kind of in the middle, run about 600 meters down the hill into a sharp corner. And when there are 300 guys trying to turn a corner at one time, it slows to a stop, and there are a lot of spikes.
It's awful.
It's the worst.
Spikes everywhere.
Spikes
blood
everywhere,
everywhere.
blood,
Wow.
people dying, falling over. It's
Mm-hmm.
not a good time, especially after it's rained. Ugh,
That's why Wyatt is a ghost.
it was bad. But
I always liked mud races personally.
they're fun.
They're fun, but
except
you
when
don't go
gotta make a
fast.
sharp corner with 300 other dudes as the
That
first
is
corner
very,
of the
very
race.
true. It's awful.
Because everybody's running full speed down this hill because it's the start of the race, and nobody realizes that it's that far. Like normally you start the race and then you hit a corner within a couple hundred meters, and so you just sprint to the corner.
Mhm.
Not there. You sprint and then you keep sprinting and then you keep sprinting and then you keep sprinting and then you're dead, and there's a corner that's like super sharp,
Oh
and there's
no.
a metal post to mark where you turn.
Oh no.
Guys are running into it. It was not a good time.
Oh.
But so you go all the way up the hill again, turn around, go up the hill, go around it as like a full loop. And you may do that twice. If I remember right, you do that twice. And then when you get back down to the bottom, you cut across. There's like what we would call a fence row in Illinois. It's like a creek in the middle of it, but there are trees on both sides, and it's not real wide. But there's a little bridge you got to cross, and you go over into what we called the triangle. Used to be shaped like a triangle, now it's shaped like a square. But you basically run around a soccer field over there. All of the fans, and there are about 10,000 people at the Invite and at State when you go.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
It's
That's a
ridiculous.
lot.
Like there are people lining all the way up to the finish, up the hill. There are a lot of people there, and they're like you are just in a wall of people the entire time you're on the main part of the course. You get to the triangle, there are about 4 people there, and you can see it like visibly. You turn the
Wow.
corner, and guys in front of you will realize, hey, there's nobody yelling at me, nobody can see me anymore. I'm gonna slow down, and
Mhm.
it's hard. Like we had team meetings days in advance of this where coach would say, here's what the course looks like, here's what's going to happen when you get to the triangle, don't slow down, and if you didn't, you're going to pass like 25 guys. Like
Really?
because everybody just stops because they realize, wait a minute, coach can't see me, my fans can't see me, there's nobody here except these runners, and they get it. So I'm just going to back off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a race
Let
like
it
that
happen.
at Newport News Park.
And yeah, you could pass a lot of guys in there, but then you finally got through there and you went another lap of the whole main complex and ran straight uphill, sprinted uphill for the finish, and it was fun. I enjoyed it a lot because there were a lot of people there. They had a lot of fancy technology, the clocks like all over the place and stuff. But
That's always a good time.
it was a long day. It was an overnight trip every time. It was quite a lot of running. It was interesting. I never,
Nice.
I ran well there, but I never got anywhere near the front ever. Like when there are that many guys, it just
Yeah.
doesn't happen. But it was fun. Let's move on. Let's move on
Let's
to
do it.
regular sports stories.
We have another topic that's pretty interesting. I'm kind of excited to talk about it, although it's a little sad.
But we'll get there in a minute. First, we're
will.
going to talk about any other sports stories,
I
whether
got
you're
one.
playing or
Other
you
sports
just
stories.
remember
I was
going to ball
confused.
games as a kid, whatever it was. Josh, go ahead.
So you guys know I'm not a sportsy man.
Not at all.
I don't
Nope.
even sports.
Your
Nope.
favorite team is a bench warmer.
You made the hockey team, the student hockey team.
You did
I don't
make
know
the
if you got
hockey
that email,
team.
but congratulations.
The what?
The student hockey team versus the alumni for floor hockey here.
Oh,
Yeah.
fun.
All 3 of us made it.
Zach didn't play, so
I don't play
Um,
hockey.
But anyway, floor hockey's fun.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I'm not a sportsy man. I used to run back in the day, but just not my game. It's not fun. I think I told the story about tennis, right? How I was on exhibition team.
You did tell us
which-
that. It was
Yeah.
really funny.
The games didn't matter. The points didn't matter. So in elementary school, I was on a basketball team because my mom wanted me to try basketball.
I
'Cause
see where
we're
this is going.
we're in Indiana. You have no clue where this is going.
no, you don't.
We're in Indiana, so basketball's huge. So
Oh yeah.
family loves basketball, so I tried it, and I still like playing basketball for fun. But so this was in elementary school, probably 4th or 5th grade ish, and on this team we played like a full season and stuff. We just played like other teams from the elementary school that people put together, and I was a short guy. And I can talk about that a little bit more. In swimming class, I was the only one who had to stand up on a chair in the shallow end. Everyone else could touch. I had to stand on a
Wow. I'm
chair
sorry,
in the
Josh.
shallow end. So that's how short I was on a basketball team. I got the ball once in my
Sounds like me.
entire basketball career.
no.
So
Poor
I get the
Josh.
ball. This is one of
Poor
our last
Joshua.
games of the season. So if that tells you anything, I had not touched the ball in a game all season. This is my time to shine. So I
don't
get the
think
ball.
I like where this is going.
I get the ball. I'm ready. I'm nervous.
Traveling.
No traveling.
Darn, nice.
I didn't have the ball long enough
Oh,
to
dear.
travel. So we're on the offense. I'm coming up on their goal. I can't remember
Timeout.
where on the court we were.
You said you had the ball and you was on offense.
I don't know how I got it. I don't know if a teammate
Wow.
passed it to me.
Point is, you was obviously on offense. Never mind, you didn't get it. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, we were on their side of the court, is what I mean.
Okay, gotcha.
So we were on their side of the court. I don't remember how the ball got to me, but I got it. I went up for the shot because I needed to take a shot because I was never going to get the ball again
Oh,
or
no.
since. So I go up for the shot. I put it in the air, and a taller member from the opposing team just catches it.
Oh no.
Catches
Oh
it out
no,
of the air.
Josh.
Who knows if it would have went in? We will
Was it on
never
the
know.
up arc still? He just caught it in front of you?
Just caught it. Just shot catch
Dang.
right there.
Gosh.
Never touched the ball
That's
again.
the worst.
Never played
That's
basketball on a
embarrassing.
team again.
That's awful.
Poor Josh.
We had a team my 5th and 6th grade year. I played, and then realized I'm short and not good at that. And but I tried. My dad coached one of the years, and I think I started one game. That tells you anything. But we
And your
had-
dad was coaching.
Yeah, exactly. That was my point. Yeah, I wasn't great, but neither was the team. We had like 35 guys. You can't coach a team with 35 guys. Like
So
it doesn't
many
work,
guys.
especially guys that have never played basketball. 6th graders that have never played basketball
Oh,
before.
no,
Like
no, not the 6th graders.
I retired with 5 points in 2 seasons.
Nice.
Wow.
It wasn't
Nice.
good.
You probably had the most out of everyone else that retired.
Probably. Yeah, we lost 66 nothing. No, 60 nothing to only 1 year. 66 nothing, and then 60 to 6 the next year. It was bad.
Wow.
Gosh, man.
Yeah, they killed us. And that was our first game every season, and after that it just went downhill. So,
Oh no.
but my buddy Gage, best friend since kindergarten, love him to death. There are a lot of stories, but I won't bring them up here 'cause he'll kill me. But he comes to the sideline one time. We're playing poorly, getting killed. We're playing like Palestine. I think it was like a girls' team or something.
What?
We're still losing, and Dad's
Palestine?
upset.
Wait, Palestine?
Not Israel, Palestine. Not the nation.
Like,
This
was
little
this
town.
a travel team, like international travel?
No.
Okay.
There's a little town in Illinois called Palestine where French's imitation dressing, I think, is made, or it's up from that area somewhere.
That's interesting.
Really?
I don't know. Anyway,
Very interesting.
now they've got 2 schools, Palestine, Hudsonville. That they put them together because both of them had less than 30 in their graduating classes.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wow.
but anyway, we're playing
That's sad.
Palestine, and Dad's upset, calls timeout. Gage is playing point guard. Comes over, everybody's gathered around. He looks Gage right in the eye. He goes, "Gage, do you know what you're doing?" Gage goes, "Yeah, no, not a clue. Nope, no, I got it." He couldn't hold back the smile. He went, "Sit down." You check in. It was yeah, we won, I think, 1 ball game against a girls team from a smaller school than Palestine.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, we weren't good.
No.
But it was fun. It was a good time.
That's
yeah.
good.
Yeah, I retired with 5 points.
Good job.
So if that
Better
tells
than
you anything,
0.
That's
Better
true.
Than
That is better than 4.
0 stats whatsoever except for shooting a ball and
I
having it
remember
caught in the air.
our second only game, the second year that we played them, and we lost 60 to 6. One of the kids took a shot at the buzzer on our team and got fouled,
Oh, wow.
and then made the 2 free throws, and that was 2 of our points because they just felt bad for us, so they gave him the free throws anyway, even though it didn't matter.
That's awesome.
So that was 2 of our points, but it was yeah, we weren't good. Anybody else got sports stories? Anything at all?
Sports stories?
Come on, Ben.
I mean, I remember going to baseball games all the time. I remember one day my dad said, like, picked me up early from school. I said, "Why did I get picked up early?" He said, "We're going to St. Louis." I said, "Why?" He said, "Randy Jackson's pitching in St. Louis, and I bought tickets." I said, "Okay."
I like it.
That's cool.
He lost, but I got to see
Aw.
him pitch. No, that's fine because I'm a Cardinal fan,
Oh,
and he was
true.
not a Cardinal, so
Mm-mm.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, he was an incredible pitcher, but yeah, I remember a lot of things from going to ballparks. Old Busch Stadium, New Busch Stadium, mostly just Busch Stadium. A lot of Busch Stadium. Playing
Stadium,
baseball.
Bush
Baseball. I played Little League baseball, and the first year that I got to minor league or whatever they called it, it was player pitch for the first time ever. Usually it was coach pitch. I was like 8, so I finally moved up.
Mhm.
I was ready. I was excited. It's opening day. I'm ready to go. and I watched one of the manliest girls that was
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no.
that was in my high school when I got to high school. She was, I think, 2 years older than me, so she was probably like 10 or something. Was
10.
pitching in the games ahead of me in the league above, and a good friend of mine now was at the plate, and she threw it and lost a little bit of control and drilled him in the back.
Oh,
He went down
man.
crying.
Oh.
They finally got him onto first base. He was limping around all day. Got him right in the kidney.
Oh.
I was horrified.
Oh.
And I went up against the best pitcher that I'd ever seen at the time for our age group,
Yeah.
and he was good and had no control because he was 8,
Yeah.
and I was short, so I took a lot of walks. So I was basically just standing there for 4 pitches because I was afraid to swing the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. That was fun. I was horrified though. That first time I went up to bat, I was shaking like crazy, almost crying. I was scared. I was always scared of the ball though.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I have a baseball story now that I always forget that I played a season of fall ball
Fall
in
ball.
middle school.
Ball.
I did. The funny thing about it was, though, I was really, really bad at batting.
Yeah, you was.
I was shut up, Wyatt. You
Just
never
guessing.
seen me play.
You got a
No, but
baseball
you're
glove?
huge.
Yeah,
Let's
it's,
play.
It's in
Let's play some
Virginia.
catch. Dadgum.
I got a bat and a ball in my trunk, but no glove.
I got a glove, but that
There you
ain't
go.
gonna do us no good.
Yeah, I can hit you pop fly. And you
I
can
can
catch it.
pitch. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. Anyways, I was pretty good at outfield, and like, what else did I play? I played shortstop a little bit. I was decently good at that, but when it came to batting,
You played
I
shortstop?
sucked just a bit.
You got to get down to the ground for shortstop.
Tossed.
Wyatt, it was fall ball.
It took you 2 years to get to the ground, though.
You daggum right it did.
The ball was at the fence by the time you got to it.
When I was on shortstop, I stayed bent over the entire time because if
sat
I
down?
stood up and then had to get down, it would take me forever.
Yeah, it would.
Take me forever. But anyways,
He would stand up straight and be like, "Oh man,
uh-huh.
I
I
gotta
guess-
get back down. They're
Yeah.
getting ready to throw."
I guess
Uh-huh.
your range was good, though.
It was
you just
good.
lay down. You're at third. You lay down the other way. You're at second. Anyway.
Exactly. I got all the balls. But batting,
Oh boy.
I think I was at bat probably over the season 12, 15 times. I probably got hit 9 of those times.
Oh.
Your
Oh
strike
my
zone is
God.
the size of Luxembourg.
Exactly.
How did they miss it?
Exactly. I got hit so many times that I became known as the guy who would just get hit and get us on first.
Hey, you know
I
what?
wasn't the pinch hitter, I was the pinch get hitter. Okay? If we were in trouble,
He's
they'd
in a
put
pin,
me
put Zach
in.
there.
And I don't know what it is about me. Maybe, honestly, I have no idea. My strike zone is huge. I would stand pretty far back from the plate. And I connected a couple times and I'd knock it almost to the fence just because my arms are a mile long. And when you put a long stick in those arms, you get a lot of momentum going
Like
and you
the
can knock
cedar
it pretty
tree that you
far.
was swinging.
Yeah. But I don't know what it was. It was like pitchers were drawn to just right here. I'm
He's rubbing his
motioning.
arm.
I'm rubbing my arm. You
Yeah.
can't see it because
Making
you're listening
baseball
to us.
calls like
Yeah.
a manager.
Yeah, I would get hit in the left bicep all the time.
Ugh.
I don't know what it was. The coach had no idea.
Hitting the side of you must be like
Impossible,
splitting
right?
hairs. How can you do that?
When I stand sideways, you can hardly see me, and if it's cloudy, you
That
can't.
was the
So-
problem. They thought
Yeah.
you were a left-handed batter. They were trying to avoid you.
Exactly.
So were you like Howie from Benchwarmers then?
No, because I knew how to hold the bat properly.
Don't chop at it. It's not a sword. You're not
No.
a sword.
You're not a sword.
I would connect every
I mean,
now and
the
then.
only run he gets is he gets hit and he has to walk.
Yeah.
In the
I got a
middle of the
triple
movie.
one time. I do remember that.
Oh,
I do remember
impressive.
that.
Pretty good.
We talking little league triple or like a legitimate triple where you ran to third base, or we talking little league where they threw the ball 15 times and nobody can catch or throw?
No, I'm
So you advanced.
I'm talking. I bounced it off the fence of right field
job.
and got a legitimate triple.
Because I always
Nice
was like, I hit a home run, but in reality, I hit a single, and then
You
they
hit a
just missed
single
through
and they
it
just
4 times.
couldn't throw it. Yeah. No, it was a legitimate triple.
I was,
But yeah,
I was apparently easy to hit too. I'm super small, but I'm left-handed, and I was
Hmm.
like the only lefty in our league.
wait, you're left-handed?
Yeah, I'm left-handed.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
Really?
he's-
I have known
you
you,
haven't seen
for
his
what,
hockey stick? His
7,
hockey
8 months
stick is
now.
a left-handed
Yeah,
hockey
I'm-
stick.
He's
Well,
an
I'm
abomination.
left-handed.
I had
in
no
sports.
idea.
Sports, you're
Mostly-
left-handed,
most
but
sports.
you
I play
write with
goalie
your right
right-handed
hand.
though.
You write with your right
I
hand.
do. Anyway, so I'm left-handed, and apparently, since they have no control, they would usually just throw outside to right-handers
Mhm.
because they didn't want to hit them. But outside to right-handers is where I
Is
was standing.
left-handed. Yeah.
So I got hit a lot too. Well, not a lot because I got out of the way because I was afraid of it. Every time the pitcher
Yeah.
would release the ball, I'd back out of the way. But, yeah. So we're gonna move on unless
Cool,
anybody else
cool.
has anything. Any stories?
I
No.
think
All
we're
right.
good.
Not today.
No.
We're moving on to a sports topic, but unfortunately, it's not as happy as this one.
No, it's not.
It's kind of a more serious topic, which we're trying to get more into. We don't want to just goof off for an hour a week.
No.
But a few days ago, I was on minorleaguebaseball.com, MILB.com, looking at some stuff, looking for Tennessee Smokies tickets and things, and I saw some articles, 2 articles actually. Let me just read this one to you. Warning: this is gonna get heavy.
Okay.
Orioles Ramirez killed in motorcycle wreck is the headline. Baltimore infield prospect Ramon Ramirez was killed in a motorcycle accident in his native Dominican Republic on Saturday night. He was 23 years old. Ramirez's death is the second in a week's time for a minor leaguer in the Dominican Republic. Houston's Jose Rosario, a 20-year-old pitching prospect, was also killed in a motorcycle crash on January 24th.
It's heavy.
It is.
I got to go to a Cardinal game last season, 2 seasons ago, and watch Oscar Taveras, his first game in the MLB. And his first major league hit was a home run, and everybody was high on this kid. He was supposed to be an incredible player, and he went back to the Dominican Republic that summer, or that winter for break, and got a brand new car, was with his girlfriend drinking and driving too fast. And he died as well, killed both he and his girlfriend, and this is a problem.
Wow.
This is something we need to fix.
It is a problem.
Um,
We can't train him up real well, give him a bucket of money, and send him back home and say, do whatever you want, see you in the
Nope.
spring.
Yeah.
This is too much for guys to handle. I mean, Jose Rosario, he was 20 years old.
Yeah.
Ramirez was 23 years old. Taveras was like 20 something. He was like 20.
When you're in your early 20s, you can't just get $1 million or whatever.
No. If
and
somebody
not
gave me
lose your
$8
mind.
million right now, I wouldn't know what to do. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to handle it. I'll
I'd
admit
buy
it.
all the things and do all the irresponsible things.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it would be dumb. I
We
would do
all
dumb
would.
things.
I
We
mean,
we
let's
all
be
would.
honest.
Like
Yes.
we're not ready
Yeah.
for that.
No.
And these kids are our age. Like they're not ready for this.
No.
Not at all.
That's
Crazy.
it's just there's got to be something. We've got to put something into place. And it's not just baseball. All these guys are doing things that are just
Mhm.
Yeah,
dumb.
I hear stories all the time. Not even just young guys either.
Yeah.
Just
Guys in
just
general.
lots of professionals.
Guys
Yeah.
come straight out of high
athletes.
school and never get taught how to be a man
Mhm.
without just blowing all your money, going to clubs, going to just doing whatever you want to do because you're invincible, and then they turn out to not be invincible, and whether that means they get killed in an accident or they just hurt themselves and can't play anymore and have no money.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
That's what happens.
it happens, and I don't know about you guys, but I think that something needs to be done.
Oh yeah.
I would agree.
For sure.
I think
Yeah.
we should stop paying guys up front, like, 'cause that's too much money to handle. And then a lot of them, even if they're successful,
Yeah.
Allen Iverson was one of the most successful NBA players of all time, made a ton of money,
Mm-hmm.
and he's working menial jobs now because he can't afford to live anymore because he blew it all. He made dumb decisions, and he retired at retirement age and just made stupid decisions.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at, and this is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It
I
is a
mean, I don't
problem.
know. I don't have a solution to it, but we got to find something.
I don't either. I've heard people talk before about this and saying instead of giving guys lump sums at signing, make it more like an annuity type thing
Mm-hmm.
where you give them
Yeah.
a salary a year
Yeah.
for a certain number of years, but it's not like
And-
the lottery where you can take the lump sum or the every year thing. It's the full amount
Well,
just parceled out.
It's just
To a
so
point.
it's so impractical to just have the lump sum in general. I mean,
is.
because I mean, in reality, like I would spend that just like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I have.
I would blow
We all
through it.
I
we
would
do
too.
stupid things. We would
And
buy
we
things
do it
we
without
don't
even
need.
realizing it.
Oh well,
Me and Zach-
I've got money. I can buy this. I can buy this too. Oh, I can buy this. Oh, I'm out of money. Oh,
Me
Yeah.
and Zach would
Well-
buy out Guitar Center. I mean, let's be
I would buy
honest.
out Music Outlet, not Guitar Center.
Music
but
outlet,
yeah,
preferably.
I would have so many guitars
Yeah.
and not even be able to play them that well, but I would have them because I could afford them.
By the
Yeah,
way, that's another shameless local plug music outlet.
Music outlet, Sevierville, Tennessee. Go buy all the gear, support them. They're wonderful.
Yes. But anyway,
Anyway.
it's not so much anymore. To a point, it is a salary,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just that the salary is so big. and
It
they
is
only pay
so
them for
big.
the years that they're playing. Also, they get a bonus, which I'm not a fan of. I understand
No.
paying guys a little bonus, but like given especially like the guys that sign big contracts that are established veterans in the leagues, giving those guys $10 million just up front. Here's $10 million, and then you're gonna get a salary on top of that. It's ridiculous.
That is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's too much, and the guys are making bad decisions.
What about like a retirement investment? Like with your signing, part of your signing is you agree that part of your $8 million up front or whatever, say $2 million of that gets invested for you by the team in a retirement account, and you get it when you're
I'd
later
say
on, so
more
you're
than
not
that. I'd say
destitute.
like 80%, because
80%.
if you look at like in the NHL, for instance, the
Yeah.
average career is 6 to 7 years.
Okay.
Well, that's a rough sport. NFL, I think it's probably about the same. I mean, guys
Mhm.
play like 20 years, but a lot of guys get injured or just don't play and they leave, and so
Right,
the average
right.
is lowered a lot. The good guys are obviously going to be playing a lot.
Yeah.
And a lot longer than 6 years, probably, hopefully. But in baseball, it can take years and years and years to get through the farm system, and by the time you get up there, you're usually mature enough. But some guys come straight out of high school and go to a AA team and get called up within 2 years, and they're not ready for that.
No,
There's
they're
a
not.
big difference between playing AA ball, playing 100 games a year, just kind of playing on the weekends and stuff, to going major leagues, 162 games a year, always traveling, not playing teams from close, but playing. If you're playing in Seattle, you might travel to Miami, you might travel to Toronto, you might travel to New York,
Mhm.
and they could all be in the same week.
Yeah.
Like, it's a tough schedule,
Yeah.
and it's a big difference in money. And guys get pulled up and sign new contracts, and they're making a ton, and they're just not ready for it.
They're not.
It's something that needs to be discussed. It needs to be brought up because, like in the NFL, they're talking about all this concussion stuff, and it obviously does need to be discussed. I'm not saying that, but they never once mentioned the fact that some of their rookies are coming in, getting cut, and then they don't have any money by the time they've gotten cut because they've already spent it all.
Hmm.
I mean,
Wow.
yeah.
And they never actually play a game of football, but they've spent all of the money that they had because they just
Not
thought that they
just-
were
I mean,
invincible.
then
and
they're in
they're
debt.
That
not.
is true.
Then they're in debt. I mean, like, we'll watch like rugby or something, and like at first glance you're thinking, oh, they're not wearing pads. They must be so like underprotected and
Yeah.
and all that stuff. And I bet there are people dying out there. The injury rate for rugby is
It's
probably
really low.
lower than the NFL.
Oh yeah.
Probably.
Well, I've got theories on the NFL. One of them is to just take the hats away.
Well, yeah.
Because if you've ever watched a football game, running back gets the ball. What's the first thing he does? Turns his head into a battering ram and hits the biggest
Uh-huh.
guy he can find.
And
that is true.
Here's my argument with that, though. You also have piles,
yeah,
and someone can get seriously injured
You do.
still in piles.
but if you take their hats away for a while, guys will still do it because it's natural, and there'll be a few concussions in the first couple weeks. But after that, they'll realize that hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
I'm
thought
not
is
going to do that
I don't
anymore.
have a hat
take.
anymore.
My thought is take
That's
them away.
gonna hurt.
Take them away in practice.
Yeah.
Take them away in practice because
Build those habits
heads up
outside the
football.
game.
The team isn't going to want to injure one of their own players,
No.
but that'll also keep their players from making stupid decisions and ramming people.
Well, with practice anymore,
stuff.
athletes are treated too well sometimes, and with practice anymore in the NFL, you can't hit anybody, you can't have
Yeah.
contact, you can't do any of this, and
That's
then guys don't know how to hit. Also, though, like I have a problem with this. You can't lead with your head to tackle, which makes sense.
Yeah.
You can't go below the knees, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hit a guy high, which makes sense. But if you put it all together, how are you supposed to tackle a man?
That is true.
You can't knock him down too hard; he'll hurt himself. You can't hit him like in the shoulder pads or above. You can't hit him below the knees. Like you
Why
can't
can't
go
you-
in with your head. So how
why
are you
can't
gonna
you hit a
tackle him
man in
the
his
gut
pads?
Without, they don't want you hitting him up by the head. Which, if you try and tackle up by the shoulder pads, he'll probably
That's
duck.
probably true.
and then you can it's not a rule that you can't hit them in the shoulder pads, but if you go
That's
up
a
by the
really-
shoulder pads, they're gonna duck.
I mean, that's a
get
good
hit.
point. Do they even tackle at practice? Because
No.
with those like
There are very few allowed contact practices anymore, from what I've heard from the CBA stuff, especially before the season starts.
and
You
I think
can't-
there's an
they
that's
have
another
obviously
problem.
the linemen are hitting each other and stuff, but guys aren't just full contact.
I think that's another problem then. They're not learning at practice
They're
to
not
really
learning,
hit well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then when they go onto the field, they haven't had enough hitting practice. They go by instinct.
Yep.
First instinct, lead with your head.
Hit
Yep.
the man. And you just do whatever you can to hit the man. And then there are 15-yard penalties every time you hit a man. It's
Yeah.
like
This
either
is
keep
tackle
them
sport,
safe
or isn't it?
or don't keep them safe.
Yep.
But make up your you can't find guys for playing the game of football that you created these rules. You can't find guys for playing by the rules
True.
by making more rules that says that they can't play by the rules.
Yeah.
How it doesn't make sense.
I just don't like football because of
I
stuff like
haven't
that.
watched
I'm
a lot
not
of
a
it
fan of
lately,
football.
but
So many rules. Like the game is just so slow paced anymore.
There is
for
a lot
me.
of
Like
there
I
is
used to
rules.
enjoy watching it, but
I mean,
Like
there's-
excessive celebration rules. Come on, seriously.
yeah.
Is this
This is
kindergarten
the
so
NFL.
we can't
In
hit?
college,
We
I
can't hurt
understand that.
people.
Here.
Like
I
college
understand
kids
that in
get
college.
cocky and they celebrate way too much and just
Yeah.
kind of they smack talk when they're celebrating. I think in the NFL they at least have a little bit more respect for each other. And
they're
the-
all
Well,
adults.
Even
like,
if they
They
don't,
are.
Yeah.
you're 28 years old. Get over yourself.
Yeah, for real.
exactly.
Like woohoo!
Like,
you ran the
I
ball
wanna
into the
be
sports
like,
zone.
if I,
Good job.
If I ran like a full field run from one end zone to the other, made a touchdown successfully, I'd be pretty freaking happy. And I would do a little victory thing, but I wouldn't go
Yeah.
all over it and go
No.
way out of line.
I don't like the rule either where you can't hand the ball off to a fan. Like the NFL's making plenty of money. They can afford more
They can
footballs.
afford more
Yeah.
footballs.
Like if you've seen the
They're
movie
not
Draft
real
Day,
leather or
there's
anything.
there's
I
a scene
No.
in the movie Draft Day
Cost what?
where the
15
kid
bucks.
there's a kid in college. They're watching footage of him, and he goes and hands off a football to somebody in the stands and gets thrown out of the game, or the ref throws a flag and he starts arguing with him, gets ejected. And everybody's upset with him. Well, he shouldn't be handing off balls to the fans. That's just stupid. Why would you do that? It's obviously a penalty. And then you find out that it's his sister who has cancer that he gave the
Wow.
ball to.
Worth it.
True
like, yeah.
story?
Yeah, well, no, but it's in the
Worth
movie
it.
Draft Day. This could be happening. Like this
Yeah.
could be you can make a kid's day doing that,
You
and then
can.
get a
Oh, yeah.
15-yard penalty because, they paid money to come see you play.
Mm-hmm.
They deserve a chance to just get a football.
Well, I mean, you've got kids that have serious illnesses, something like that. I mean, that
and
are
the ref
out in
doesn't
the
know that.
stands.
Now
It's like the
maybe
ref
he's
doesn't
just
know
throwing them away to be
this.
cocky, but there could be an actual reason that you give a ball away.
Yeah.
That's true.
Or even if it's not, they're fans. They paid money to the NFL to come see this, and without them, the NFL is worthless.
Yeah.
They're
That is
making no
really
money
true.
because they're built around entertainment.
Exactly.
It's an
Well,
entertainment
that's-
business.
And
It
that's
is.
the case with
Sports
any
is
sport.
entertainment.
That's how they make their money. They
Yep.
make money
Sports is business.
off of fans, off of
Yeah.
merchandise, off of paying to go to games. I mean, it's the same thing with music.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Bands would be worthless
I
if
can throw my
nobody bought
guitar
music.
picks
exactly.
or drumsticks out.
That's why. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
People
why
you're not-
love that stuff.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a penalty for that either.
People absolutely love that.
Switching to a little bit of a different topic, real quick. That's why there's so much controversy with Spotify right now, because fans are getting their music for practically nothing.
Yeah.
And the artists aren't getting money
Spotify's
because
great.
fans are using Spotify. I use Spotify. I love Spotify.
As a listener,
But-
I love Spotify, but if I was making
As a
music, I would hate
musician-
Spotify.
As a
Oh, yeah.
musician,
Yeah,
I can
probably.
see
Of course.
why people go against it.
I wouldn't be a fan of it either because that's content that you're creating, and we create content. We'd love for people to pay for it, but that's not happening.
Right now, we just want y'all to listen
we just
to it.
we just want people to listen to
Here's
us.
Here's the worst part about all that stuff. The people that make the most money are the ones that throw the biggest fit about stuff like that.
Yeah.
Actually,
sure.
now that I
I
think
only
about
got 180 million. I was supposed to make 300 million. Shut
Exactly.
up.
Exactly.
Now that I
Shut
think
up.
about it, if you pay for Spotify to listen to, I know Taylor Swift took her stuff off of there, but people
Mhm.
like her, Taylor Swift,
Right.
Adele,
Right.
people like that, the big artists, they're making enough. They're
Yeah.
making
They
enough
are
on
making
tours right
enough.
now anyway.
Oh,
But you
yeah.
also might run into some indies that you didn't know about. You might find guys that
That's
you
why I
didn't know
use
existed.
Spotify.
well,
And that's why I think Spotify might be a good thing. They're obviously
It
not
is.
being paid for their stuff, but people start listening to it. And
Yeah.
if people
Now,
start
and-
listening to
and
it, people
get
will
your
pay
name
to
out.
come
The
see
other
you.
thing, though, is Spotify directly pays the record companies, and the record companies pay the bands based off of what Spotify pays them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There was a big controversy going on and a big lawsuit going on because I like the bands that this record company owns, but I don't like what they did to their bands because apparently they were withholding money from their bands. And so Spotify actually took the music off of Spotify because they were doing this to their bands.
Yeah.
Spotify has respect for the artists. It's
Yeah.
all about what the record company decides to do or not. And most of the time, the people that pull the music are the record companies because they're like, "Oh, we're
Yeah,
not getting enough
not
money
getting
for
enough.
what these people are recording." That's why there's so many artists that can get by going indie now, because they
Yeah.
have stuff like Spotify. You can directly upload things onto Spotify yourself.
Mhm.
If you're an indie artist, Valley Opera, they have songs on
They're
Spotify.
on
now.
Spotify.
Check them out.
Plug.
Plug.
Little plug.
Shameless plugs.
That's a thing.
But they really do help smaller bands. They help smaller groups and stuff get out there, and it's great. But anyway,
Yeah.
back to the
So-
sports.
But
I
record
had gone on this
companies,
little
I don't
rant.
like record companies
So-
either.
No, I'm not a big record.
They're awful.
Basically,
company
what
person anyway.
what the point we're getting at is there's lots of problems with how money is
Entertainment.
distributed
Business,
in the
entertainment
entertainment
business.
Yes.
And
Sports, especially.
This is something I wanted to mention about the sports thing. I've just despised how much professional athletes make.
Mm.
Just
Mm-hmm.
like as long as I knew, like how much people make off that business. Like, and I know.
Let's start out
me
there.
and a
They make
friend-
more than the military.
Yeah,
They make more than
It's
the military.
it's ridiculous.
It's
Yeah, they do.
it's stupid.
but if you look at it this way, the NFL is bringing in how much money? A lot.
Mhm. This is
Multi-billion-dollar
true.
industry.
This is true.
This is
And
true.
if they didn't have those players out on the field playing, then they would make nothing.
This
It's just
is
like
true.
not having fans. Like if you don't have
Yeah.
fans, you're not going to make any money. Well, the fans are there because they want to see these players play.
Yep.
So I agree that they're getting paid maybe a little too much, but they are getting their percentage of this whole business that they've basically created. Like
Mhm.
without them, this
They
business
are.
wouldn't be anything.
But
Yeah.
how much money and how this money is distributed in this
Yeah.
business is affecting other systems.
Yes,
Like
it is.
a friend and I were just doing like a little research, and like he goes to Purdue University, and a lot of universities these days are like showing their professors' salaries like on the websites. Like you can find their salaries, just so you know. Like we're open about how much we make and stuff. Like we're not making a ton of money off you kids, like
Right.
students and stuff. But the Purdue football team, a lot of those athletes are making double or triple what the professors at the university are making, and I think that's ridiculous.
That
Like
is-
not enough money is going to education, but it's all going towards the sports
Mhm.
at the school.
Yeah,
and I think that
college
affects,
sports are having a lot of problems right now,
Yeah.
They are.
especially college football,
Mm.
with players being paid. The players want paid because they're making this. Well, see, again,
Are we talking paid, or are we talking like scholarships?
well, scholarships. Yeah, they can't actually
Okay.
be
Yeah,
paid.
They can't
I was
actually
gonna
be
say.
paid.
They can't actually pay them, but schools are doing it. Like
Yeah.
they're getting caught for it, but they're doing
Mm.
it. Like everybody's doing it. But if you think about it though, these like let's take UT as an example.
Mhm.
We're in Knoxville. 109,000 people show up every Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Tickets are not cheap to those football games.
No.
Bad tickets are $80.
Yeah. Like they're making a killing.
Yeah.
And the reason they're making a killing is because they're putting that team on the field. And if that team
Mhm.
wasn't there, they wouldn't be making that much.
Yeah.
And in order to get that team there, you have to give them benefits,
Mm.
like reasons to come to
Yeah.
that school, and the reason to come to that school would be free
Play
tuition.
And free tuition.
You can
Yep.
get free tuition, you get free room and board. Here's all these scholarships. Here's all this free stuff because we want you here because we are making money. And really, I bet the university's making more money through merchandise from football and tickets from football and concessions at football games than they are from people actually attending the
there.
school.
Tennessee,
Like,
That's probably
Tennessee
true.
definitely. Tennessee definitely is
Probably
because
anybody in the
UT's
Southeastern Conference.
We're
UT's
ridiculous.
Tennessee's biggest
Yeah.
like sports.
I
The Titans
cannot get
Stadium
away
has
from
almost
UT
half as many
Orange.
seats. It has just over half as many seats
Well,
as
and
the
back,
stadium.
That's
does.
back in
hilarious.
Florida,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. UCF,
Southeastern
FSU,
Conference.
and UF, all three of them. They're
Especially.
just all over the place.
Did I read that UT is the third most valuable football team in America?
It's
Whoa. I
probably
believe
pretty
that,
true.
actually.
Not
I
college
mean,
football,
okay, but
football team.
in both of our cases, Florida and Tennessee,
Mhm.
we've got the Titans and the Buccaneers
Yeah.
and the Dolphins. Like
And Jaguars.
even
Florida
better.
has 3 teams.
It's like what, number 27, 28, and
Fun-
30?
Florida,
Like,
fun
Florida
fact.
has 3 NFL teams, and their 3 college teams are more popular than their NFL teams.
their 3
Yeah.
college teams have probably won more games in one season than those 3 teams have combined in
Yeah.
5 seasons.
Yeah.
They're
Probably
not
true.
wonderful, but not the point.
Yeah.
Point is,
There's
college
a reason I'm a
students are
Steelers
being
fan.
paid to play, and then they're going into the NFL with no debt and just making a ton of money right off the bat, playing year or 2 in college, not really learning anything,
Yeah.
not going to any classes because they don't have to. 'cause
They
they're
don't
getting
have to.
free
Yeah.
college,
Yep.
and they know that they're going to be successful elsewhere, and these guys aren't ready for this.
Yeah.
That's the point we actually started with.
They're
These
not.
guys aren't ready for this. They're working their way through high school only knowing football, only knowing baseball, only knowing basketball, and they get up to the pros and they're like, "Here's a bunch of money. Be an adult." and when you're playing college football, you don't have a lot of time to be an adult.
You don't.
Future
You're
football
basically
players.
being like, you've got team dinners all the time, you've got all sorts of stuff going on, you got
Mhm.
practice all the time.
Yeah.
You got classes, and some of them are going to classes. I mean, I'm sure a lot of the guys that make it in the NFL are going to classes, but not all of them. And you don't really have to be an adult because you've always got coach there telling you how to live and how to, you got to be here for this and you got to be here for this, and you're always on
Well-
the road and you're always traveling, you're always doing things.
Mhm.
But when you get to the NFL, you've got an off season and you've got a ton of money.
Yeah.
You're not living
Exactly.
at home, and they just dump them off. Here you
They
go.
do.
Here's a bunch of money. You played a few games. Have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Don't die.
And
And most of them do.
most of them die or
Get in
throw their life
trouble.
away,
Mhm.
get in trouble.
Yep.
Johnny Manziel knew from the point that he entered high school, I'm going to be a big star someday. And he decided, I'm invincible. I'm going to do whatever I want. And then finally gets a job, gets caught partying time and time again, keeps getting punished, finally works his way back into the starting job, gets caught partying the next day,
Dang.
and then
Wow.
lies to the team about it. Because he thinks he's invincible and he just
Yeah.
can do whatever he wants because he's Johnny Manziel. I'm Johnny Football. I can do whatever I want. And that's not how it works. But he doesn't know that because they're just handing him money.
Right.
Here's money. Here's a job.
Yep.
Just do your job a few times a week and then do whatever you want. And then he
Yeah.
gets punished, but not a lot.
Yeah.
Still getting paid a lot. He's
Mhm.
going to trial now, or is possibly going to trial because he beat his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend at this point. Thankfully, she's smart enough to get out of that.
Yeah.
But
Good for her.
like,
They're not all that smart.
and he's not the only one. He's just the one that's making headlines.
Yeah.
Ray McDonald's done stupid things too. He's been doing domestic violence stuff. He's not even straight out of college. They've never been forced to grow up. And it's a problem. It's a real problem.
On that note, go Peyton.
Peyton Manning's a great guy.
Peyton Manning's
is.
a great guy.
And pro wrestling's obviously not a sport, but what I'm going to say is
Oh,
these
gosh.
guys are on the road all the time. And
Mhm.
it used to be, in that business, it used to be, like, they would be the same as a Johnny Manziel or
Yeah.
whatever. They would make
They
stupid
def-
decisions.
That whole
Shawn
business
Michaels
has
is open
turned
about
around,
that.
though.
He was not in a good place.
Mhm.
But lately, people like Triple H have come in.
Yeah,
people
and they've
like
turned
people
things
like
around.
Taker have been there, and they're the big guys. They're
I mean, these
all
guys are
sorts of
straight
guys.
edge, or
and they're-
not partying, and
They're there to work. They're there to make it, and they're ready to just make it. And I respect the business a lot lately because it seems like they are promoting being good people on top of.
I
just
mean,
They are.
the guys that
being
you really
popular.
like, that you see dealing with stuff like that now in the WWE or just in NXT, and they're just moving up, right? Or
They're moving- they're moving
on
through
their
it.
way up,
the
and they haven't learned that stuff because they're young.
Yeah.
But you also got to look at this. Most of the people in the main events of WWE, the main roster of WWE, are in their late 20s, 30s area.
true.
They're adults. They're not kids.
They are adults.
They're
But
not
my
hiring
point
kids
is-
anymore.
My point is they're hiring 18-year-olds.
Well,
in
they're
NXT.
hiring kids in
but
NXT.
The point is they have mentors in place. They
Yeah.
have things in place. They're not paying them a ton of money right off the bat,
Yeah,
and they're
for sure.
they're forcing them to still grow up. They're not just
Mhm.
bringing them on the road, just tugging them along, and then giving them $8 billion and
Yeah.
saying, "Okay, get out of here." They're not doing that.
Mm-mm.
They're
That's good.
forcing them
I
to grow
respect
up.
them for that.
They're forcing them to grow up before
Yeah.
they let them in there. And I've heard on Randy Orton's documentary that he was not in a good place either, and he said one time backstage, "Well, I'm just a stupid kid. I'll learn." And Triple H grabbed him and said, "No, that's not how it's gonna be here. When are you gonna grow up? If you're just a stupid kid, you're 23 years old. Like, when does that? What do you just
Yeah.
flip a switch and decide you're an adult? No, that's not
Yeah.
how it works. It's time to move on. It's time to
Mm.
become an adult." And since then, not a lot of guys have fallen into that trap in that business. And I really wish that. I mean, I know it's obviously not a sport; it's entertainment, though.
Yeah.
And I wish that it's not a sport, but it is an athletic event. But it's
Yeah.
entertainment, and I wish that a lot of sports sort of systems would adopt some of their ideas, because it really is working.
You want me to do my mission
Yeah.
moment?
We got a missions moment from Josh, and then we're gonna wrap this up.
So today, actually, this is convenient because today my Faith in the City class went on a field trip, and we visited the Restoration House in East Tennessee. And the Restoration House is a nonprofit that works with and houses single mom families in this area. And so they just do a lot of great work. They toured us around and stuff. They've got great facilities. So I guess you can probably find them online if that seems like something you'd have interest in supporting. But they just help single mom families get back up on their feet. They teach them job skills, soft and hard job skills. They teach them stuff with the kids. They do cooking classes, just all kinds of great stuff that these under-resourced single mom families need help with. So yeah, you can look that up probably on Google, Restoration House of East Tennessee, and they do great stuff. So look into that if that seems like something you'd like to support.
Thank you, Josh. I'd just like to point out I just got an alert on my phone. Mets right-handed pitcher Henry Mejia permanently suspended for testing positive for Boldenone, something like that.
Good.
His third performance-enhancing drug test that he's failed. This is a problem.
Hate ending on a bad note. but
So
yeah.
basically, there's a
This just
unhealthy
proves our
culture
point.
within
This
the
is a problem.
entertainment
Yeah.
industry.
This
Sports
needs to be.
entertainment.
He was never forced to grow up. He went straight from high school to maybe college. I don't know his background, but went up through the minors and straight into. He was an early bloomer in the MLB, and look where he is now. But
Yep.
we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks for listening. We will be back. We promise next week. It will happen. We're gonna have a guest soon. It's gonna be fun.
Biggest
Huge
guest ever.
guest.
It's
So
gonna be a
excited
massive
for this.
thing.
Y'all are gonna love it.
Yeah, you are. It's gonna be big. All right, Creation Theory out.
See you guys.
Woo!